Welcome back to downtown Los Angeles. This is LA Live. We get ready for our first fight of the night. Trevor Mccumby against Sharieff Hayes.
We got two young light heavyweights here. Mccumby, only 18, the younger man. They're the same height. Hayes enjoys a slight reach advantage.
And the rules.
California rules govern this bout and all the bouts tonight. The 3 knockdown rule is not in effect. Standing 8 count is not in effect. Fighter can be saved by the bell, but only in the last round, and both the ringside position and the referee have the power, the authority, to stop the fight as they see fit.
Trevor Mccumby, managed by Cameron Duncan, who also has Kelly Pavlik among many fighters, and they believe that this kid has a very, very promising future.
And he's talented, clean-cut kid. And there's his opponent. Sharieff Hayes did not have that extensive amateur background as Mccumby had. Describes himself as a stick-and-move boxer. We'll see how well he does it against a former amateur as experienced as Mccumby.
All right, let's now go to Joe Martinez with the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and welcome to Club Nokia LA Live here in the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Tonight, Golden Boy Promotions in association with AEG proudly present to you another chapter in the storied edition of Fight Night Club. All bouts are brought to you by the Great American Lager Budweiser. Grab yourself a bug. Also in association with DeWalt Power Tools, DeWalt Guaranteed Tough. McDonald's, I'm loving it, and Lights Out. St. Patrick Lights Leary, the new FX original drama this January, only on FX, as well as El Supermarket. Visit your local El Super this week for great deals on vitamin water and Fuse drink. All bouts tonight sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. The executive officer is George Dodd with Chairman John Frierson. Positions at ringside, Dr. Leandro Gadus and Dr. Paul Wallace. And your timekeepers in charge of the bell and counting for knockdown on this evening, Mike North and John Lichting. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, our first attraction this evening. 4 rounds scheduled in the Cruiserweight division. The 3 judges scoring at ringside, Dr. James Jenkins, Jerry Gandu, and Zach Young. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, David Mendoza. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the solid black trunks, he weighed in officially 175 3/4 pounds. Tonight, he makes his professional debut and joins us from Phoenix, Arizona. Here is Sharieff Hayes. Next, his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing white, trimmed in red, he weighed in 177 1/2 pounds. And tonight, he too makes his professional debut from Glendale, Arizona. Here is Trevor T-Rev Mccumby.
Come on, Hayes. Trevor, Hayes. Gentlemen, 4 rounds. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions, all right? Touch cloth, go back to your corner.
Well, if a stare down means anything, Sharieff Hayes has no love for his opponent.
You know, he didn't have many amateur bouts. Maybe he had like 5 or 6.
I thought you were going to say he had a tough childhood or something.
Well, he most likely he did. He has had some law troubles. He's a graduate of the School of Hard Knocks, so, I mean, you know, if anything, he knows how to give somebody a mad dog stare.
But it is Mccumby who was the first one to attack.
And I'm looking at Mccumby's speed because I heard he's got good hand speed. Very highly touted junior amateur fighter.
Swinging hard right away.
Mccumby won 138 amateur bouts, only 11 losses. Of course, all those fights were with headgear on, slightly bigger gloves. Well, they're wearing a tank top.
So at least in that respect, no one really has an advantage here. They're not used to the limelight. They're not used to fights being televised and following the professional rules.
That's a good point. This is the first time both guys have been under the hot lights of a professional bout for television.
Leading with the right, Mccumby, and he makes Sharieff Hayes there take a step back.
I like that Hayes actually knew to hold on. A lot of times you see guys who don't have an amateur background and they get hit with a good shot and they're immediately discombobulated. Hayes kept his head, and he knew to hold, which is a smart thing. I mean, despite his amateur background, I have to imagine Mccumby is probably just as nervous as Hayes. Maybe more nervous because there's more expectations.
Exactly.
Hayes has nothing to lose. Absolutely.
He's here just to play the role of a spoiler, whereas everyone's expecting Mccumby.
And let's not forget, Mccumby just turned 18. Oh, he's throwing some heat, though.
He is swinging for the fences here.
You know what? He's still in high school, but he's giving it the old college try in terms of trying to take his guy out in the first round. You gotta love that. But you know, as an amateur, he was fighting guys under 19. He was a junior amateur, stand down, and now he's fighting a grown man. He's fighting a guy who's 25 years old. Seeing a little bit of a hot dogging from the comeback. Mccumby's got a nice left hook. I'd like to see more of a jab from him. I'd like to see him keep his hands up a little bit more. Maybe he's trying to lure Hayes in.
Well, it's not very fluid, and you can't expect that from two guys that are making their professional debut, but the intensity is certainly there, and Mccumby willing to take a risk.
Round one went long to Trevor Mccumby because of hard power shots like that overhand right.
Kind of wild, at times, but at least he's taking the initiative. There he goes again.
His right hand is not as straight as you would expect from an amateur standout. It's like an overhand right.
It is.
And he does telegraph it. You know when he's going to let it go. And in between rounds, he got a stern talking to from his head trainer, Ken Adams, who didn't like that he was playing around with Hayes and told him that he was rushing too much, throwing too many wild shots. And I have to agree with Adams. A little bit too much of that. He won the round, but he was taking some unnecessary chances.
Let's see if he kind of settles down in round two, if he begins using his jab, which he is right now. The jab coming out, kind of going in like a ascending kind of motion. Coming out of the waist area, bringing that block. There he is, showboating again.
I don't know if that's necessary. I mean, Hayes is not even sticking a jab out there. When he dips down like that, what's the reason to do that? Why is he doing that? It's just showing off.
One thing is being a flashy, spectacular fighter. Another thing is just doing things that are unnecessary in the ring.
Yeah, and you know what? That can be maturity on his part. We're talking about a guy who turned 18 just last month.
And you don't hear the fans applauding that kind of behavior.
No, I mean, it makes sense to do a dipsy-do and drop your hands. If you're in there with a guy who's throwing heat and you're making him miss and you're staying in the pocket and you're also making him pay for that, people appreciate that. But if your guy's just standing in front of you and you're doing all this hot dogging, the fans are not going to really take to that. Not in Southern California.
Nonetheless, Mccumby is the aggressor in this fight, and a couple of those were grazing shots, but still you can tell that they're having an effect on Hayes, at least psychologically. And there he was again, swinging hard.
That was a wild left hook if I've ever
anticipated.
Yes. You knew it was coming, and that's not what Ken Adams wants to see. He doesn't want to see telegraph shots. He doesn't want to see wild shots. He wants to see nice, straight shots and clean power punches.
Well, it's just the way he sets up. He gets ready for that power punch, putting all that weight on his rear leg.
And Hayes is sticking in there. Hayes is not putting much heat on Mccumby, but he's staying in there. So this is definitely going to be a learning experience for Mccumby.
All right, break. Step back. Step back. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2.
We're halfway through this cruiserweight fight between Trevor Mccumby and Sharieff, both making their pro debuts tonight. And so far, how do you have it scored, Doug?
I have the first 2 rounds for Trevor Mccumby. He's taking the rounds with power punches. punching, sheer power punching, not necessarily boxing. He's not necessarily the faster man. He's not necessarily the better technician in there. He's just
pretty.
No, it's not pretty. He's taking chances, and he's missing with a lot of wild shots, which is making his trainer Kenny Adams unhappy. But the shots that land are powerful, and they do take effect. That's why he won the first 2 rounds. Although Kenny Adams told him he may have lost the second round. I think he's trying to get his fighter's attention, get him to settle down just a little bit.
Really hard punches by Mccumby, and those again. Hayes a little wobbly.
Hayes has got a pretty good chin, though.
And 2 more as he launches him against the referee. He's got him against the ropes now. He's basically hanging on for dear life.
I think that's what he needs to do. I think that's what he needs to do. He needs to
His legs are gone, or at least halfway there. And let's see if Mccumby can finish this. Some hard punches. He's about to go down. The referee's going to step in there and call it a night as Trevor Mccumby succeeds in his professional debut. Spectacular way to finish this fight.
Well, you can tell he wanted a knockout, and he got what he was looking for. Probably at the cost of his technique. He didn't look pretty doing it. He didn't make his corner very happy in the manner he went about getting it. But he got the W, he got the KO, and I know that's got to be important for an 18-year-old high school student who just made his pro debut.
And I think things could have been a little different had the opponent had just a tad more experience. When someone is throwing those kind of punches, I think you can take advantage. The guy is wide open. You just anticipate a little bit better. But since this guy, again, had no pro experience, it was difficult for him to kind of weather that storm.
Yeah, well, that's all he was trying to do. He wasn't throwing punches back, and I think that's why David Mendoza, the referee, stopped the fight.
Let's see how this thing ends.
You have to be able to defend yourself. And here we see the series of hard single power shots that Mccumby landed to end the contest. Hayes holding on there, which is what he should have been doing.
Not doing much more than that.
Right, but he also needed to throw some punches back instead of just reeling around the
He was just
ring.
in defensive mode the whole night. Kind of stretching his arms, trying to stop things. But well, that was it. Joe Martinez has the official decision.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, in comes 1 minute, 20 seconds of round number 3. Your winner by knockout victory in his professional debut, Trevor Mccumby.
Well, Mario, I was told that Mccumby is a fast boxer. I didn't see the hand speed. I didn't see the boxing abilities because he was loading up with all his shots. He was going for the knockout and got it, but he may not look. He may not have looked as good as he could have because he wanted to go for that stoppage win.
Some might call it good look, but that's a different story. We are ready for our next fight, but before, we gotta step away for a second.